All right, welcome back. So today I am back on the Mojave 4S. I'm a little concerned with the steering because of the jam I had yesterday. I just want to check the hardware and make sure well, that was a little loose. Just want to check some of this hardware over because this will be the 4th running video, even though I've had a few battery packs in it. Today will be the 4th actual run. I just want to make sure nothing's really going to fall out, since the plastic and everything is setting in, bending and flexing. Get some of these rocks out of here. Look, sand is just trapping itself everywhere. Get this battery installed, and then we're gonna go give this thing a rip and see if the body is still holding strong. All right, I'm gonna get this thing loaded up, and we're gonna get out and we're gonna go rip it and see if we can give it a good bash today. Like I said, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spacers on each side in the rear. The front seems to be okay with the 4 that it comes with, but the rear, I had to add the rest out of the package, and now it's sitting properly. So I'm gonna get this stuff loaded up and we'll be right back. All right, so we looked it over. And as you see, the washers and the O-rings are still on there. They don't fall off. Nice thing is that we found a washer that really locks in. There we go. As you see, it's still all sealed, and this is the gap in the back where sand is getting in. But as you see, it's still all sealed around the chassis on both sides. Let's get up here. I waited a little longer today, hoping that the dirt oval will be open today. So we're gonna get up to that dirt oval and really slide this thing around. All right, so here we are. Nobody's here today, which is a good thing. We're going to give this thing a little rip. These tires are starting to impress me as they break in. Somebody said they noticed the same thing, that the tires got better as they were run. And I can agree with that. For a ready to run tire, this tire is actually pretty good without having to change it. Now when I first ran it, it was really not good on loose dirt. And I think adding the spacers to the rear of these shocks to give it more spring tension. I haven't noticed coil bind yet, but I imagine that that's going to eventually happen. Having to add so many spacers to the rear of this thing, because like I said, the springs probably a little soft, but it's handling really good. And I understand why it's done. Got to save costs somewhere to give you a better RC car. Yeah, I could sit here all day doing this, but that's not what we're gonna do. We're here to bash in some dirt. This is actually for an on-road RC. It actually performs really well on-road for this loose suspension. I think the sway bars attribute to that. I'm wondering if this rock and dirt right here, which is different than the other track, is what's locking up this body. And I do want to let everybody know that ARMA did reach out and they are aware of it, just so everybody knows. Now, I don't know what their solution's going to be, but they did reach out. See, as you could tell, the tires are getting way better for grip. And I'm able to run it a lot harder. Oh, there we go. Some rollovers. A little early on that one. Big rock. And no, not the big rock, just the big rock. Hammer down this body a little bit, see if those O-rings and those washers, you could tell the back is doing way better. Tires are doing way better. 4 battery packs in now. Five if you count I ran a battery pack and a half yesterday. Handles really well. Like I said, I normally would just send the RC off this embankment and do some big air jumps, but I didn't feel the Mojave was designed for that, even though I think it'll take it. Razor RC did some pretty big jumps. I think that O-ring has really quieted up the body, or the body's stuck. Too fun. Too much fun. And this is what we should be having with a professionally built RC car, is we should be having this type of fun rather than wrenching on it or fixing an issue. Take that one a little faster. A little slower. So what do you think? Is the body stuck yet? Or should we wear out this pack? Ooh. Definitely raising up the back helped tremendously. A lot smoother, not slapping the back so hard. These big rocks that are on the ground right here are really what jam up the steering. Center diff gives you a lot of control of this RC without wheeling, which is so much fun, in my opinion. because we're not sending it to the moon and we're not trying to backflip, the center diff really makes for a good dirt bash track run, whether it's asphalt track, sand oval, or BMX track. Or if you just want to bash around in the dirt. Plenty of speed. Normally I would be adding a 6S system to, say, the 3S line. I just don't feel their 4S line needs it, which is surprising for me to say, because I've always added more power. I just don't feel this this platform, this 4S platform, needs any more power. This ESC does really good. It's the same ESC I put in the Pro Moto MX. There it is. Literally lost range behind this mountain. Didn't hear it every time I was hitting the trigger. Line of sight, they say, for a radio. Got to be able to see it in order to control it. There's a nice tumble. This starting gate is definitely too rough for this RC, but visually the cement looks better that way. Man, this platform really handles well. Oh, now that's a crash. So is that. Gotta slow down for those turns. I know better. Just trying to rip it. But having an enclosed short course truck, those type of crashes, the body really saves the suspension from getting ripped off versus a buggy. Every bash session, I seem to try to go a little harder, a little harder. I'm trying to take it easy. Normally I would just send the RC and not really care. But because I'm trying to sort out an issue, I don't want my driving to affect what's going on. Ooh. There's definitely a lot of sand in there because I heard the fans slow down when I flipped it back over. Let's get on this table and see if my body is stuck. Let's cross our fingers, please. $5 fix. I really don't want to have to do any modifications to this. Came off. It came off. I honestly think that's what it is. You can see very little sand. Even though the pockets are covered in sand, the holes themselves are pretty dry. You see? Look at all this sand. Look at the different size sand and rocks came out of this chassis. That's a good one. It's like a clump of dirt. But all of this, every different size rock has come out of this chassis. But I think the O-ring is helping. Washer is stopping the chassis from dropping down and applying just a little bit of force. If you drill it, the post's going to go farther in and you're going to have more clearance there to get rock and debris in there, especially with that taper. It's like anything. Think about taking a marble, sticking it in the top of a standard straw, and it goes about halfway. And then take that same marble, which is a round taper, put it into a McDonald's straw, that larger straw. It'll probably drop all the way in. And that's what drilling the chassis is all about. You can't drill it when you have a taper, a marble on the top, because it's going to drop it lower. I mean, I had a lot of conversation with RC Guy Garage on what mod will actually fix this, and it's hard for him because he's relying on photos from me on what I'm seeing. He doesn't have one in his hands, so he's relying on the pictures I send him just to get a good understanding and bouncing ideas back and forth. I can honestly say RC Guy Garage and me both love the Mojave platform. And I think that's why I was so mad and disappointed in the body stuck. Because it truly is an RC I like and I want in my fleet of RCs. But not at the expense of us having to fix a bunch of issues with it. Steering still has an issue, but I mean, I honestly don't know what to say about that. I do like this platform. Some were saying, why are you condemning it? Because the body is sticking. It's not condemning an RC. It's just being honest and showing people what issues you might get if you've ordered this. If you're thinking about your next paycheck, you're going to spend $500 on this RC car, you know what you can expect to happen. Whether I break a control arm or I break a bumper, I break something, I'm going to show it. And whether it's my fault or the RC's fault, you have to show it. You can't cut that stuff out of your videos. Let the people decide if it was a value breakage or if my poor driving has caused it. It's not turning right really good right now. There we go. Can you bash it like that? Do big jumps? I mean, I really want to full trigger it off that jump. I just don't think this platform is what it was meant to do. I don't think, I mean, if everything is a basher, why buy another Arma? They're all the same. Find one you're happy with and send your Creighton or your Outcast or whatever you think is a basher and bash that one. The reason I like the Mojave is because it's a different type of RC, to where it has speed, it's durable, 4S power, and I can just horse around without having to send the RC and break parts every time. I don't want to send an RC off every jump or make it super durable. I don't want to be a rich duper bash. I just want to do what I want to do. Now, every now and then, do I want a duper bash? Yeah, I grab an X-Max. Or I grab an Outcast. I definitely don't grab a Creighton. The guys that were out here on Sunday, they like the Creighton, but only if they trugify it. And they use the word trugify like Rich Duper Bash because they watch his channel. Look at this. Speed. Imagine this platform over at Diamond Dust. I just think he'll have a blast with this. I can say that 4S power, I think, is all you need. Kind of like my Outcast. I have the Creighton too. I'm not sure if I sold the Creighton. I might have. I know I kept the Outcast because I like the Outcast. God, it's not turning to the right. That's full lock to the right now. And that's left. Left is good. Right was sticking. Yep, right is sticking. Let's see. All kinds of sand in there. There we go. Just got dirt in it. Yep, that's right. That's left. Full steering again. It's just getting sand buildup in there. Sand, dirt, everything. Sucks because if you don't crash, the sand and dirt doesn't come out. Oh look, I cracked the body in the back from one of those tumbles. And the bumper's underneath it. Oh, it's this side that's stuffed in. There we go. Ripped it right there. Think the kid wants to play with it? Let's turn down the power. This battery's pretty low. How's it going? Does he know how to play with RC cars? No. No? You want to try it? You want to try it? Yes? Okay, I turned the power down to 50%. This is how you steer. Let's see, give me that hand. You see that? Press that very little, not very much. It's okay if he crashes it. And then just steer with this hand. There you go. Little bit of throttle.
Just a little bit.
You ain't gonna break it, and if you do, it doesn't matter. It's gone now.
Oh no.
He's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
How old is he?
3.
3? Oh, okay. He's
Thank
real
you.
young. He looks big for his age.
Yeah, that's what I keep getting.
Yep.
So hopefully he gets tall.
Yep. I got 3.
Oh yeah.
So, and mine were never that tall at 3. I want to say they were like this.
Oh. Yeah, I hear he's on the pretty tall side. So
Yep. You gonna be a basketball player?
hopefully. I hope he doesn't hit that growth spurt and then all of a sudden stop.
Yep.
Oh, babe. Did you like the card? Did you say thank you?
You're welcome.
We gotta get you one, huh?
Yes, they have slower ones for your size.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nice talking to you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
All right. No worries.
Bye.
Power's at 50%. And that's the whole reason Arma put these 50%, 75, 100. Is just to get familiar with the RC car. Not to go out and send it. You know, I have noticed that the batteries last forever. I'm still on the first battery. Oh, it's turning right again, very little. Left is good. See the circle of going right, I mean? That's right. Watch left. Oh, that's good. The sand must have fell out. I'm finding every now and then it loses steering one direction just from buildup. Oh, there we go. Low voltage cut. That's full trigger. I knew we were getting close, but you know, I'm 45 minutes, 50 minutes of bashing this thing, and I did bring another battery, so I'm gonna probably clean this thing up, rip it again, look it over, but for the most part, let's see if this chassis is stuck. I'll pull softer. Last time I yanked it up, I yank it up because you know, the 4 posts in there, like I was talking to RC Guy Garage, it won't hang. Just trying to, and then I find right here is the part, look, uh-oh. Oh, it comes off, but it was hanging up a little bit. Look at all that rock. It definitely hung up a little bit. Wasn't completely stuck, but it hung up. Huh. Man, that is a lot of sand in there right now from that gravel road. Man. I wonder if I should drill this out just a touch. I really didn't want to drill on this chassis, but I know just drilling it isn't the answer. Man, that's a lot of rock. Look at all that grit in there. I think it needs to be drilled from the bottom and tapered. That's what I think. Let me grab a taper drill bit and show you what I'm talking about. So here's a step bit, right? A step bit. You can see sticks out of the bottom. I drill it from the top with a step bit, all the dirt's gonna channel and stick. Let me get this rock out of here. Look at all this rock. Dude, that rock is everywhere. But if we take the chassis and drill it this way, will that be enough? I totally did not want to drill on this chassis. Man, no, this isn't. I don't know if this is the answer. I'm unsure. This might need to be opened up a little bit with those flat washers and O-rings. I know 100% just drilling it out is not the ticket. I would love to say that it is, but I can 100% guarantee you're still going to have a body sticking kind of like that. But that is what I'm trying to avoid. Should I drill it straight or should I taper it from the bottom? I'm gonna leave it up to the comments, because I think this repair, the more eyes that are on it and the more people seeing what I'm talking about and understand what I mean by drilling it out in this taper. Oh, this whole body is ripped. It's cracked. That whole edge is ripped off. This body's junk now. Wow. That's split right on that seam and all the way down over here. That sucks. Already. I mean, it was a pretty big crash. And that could be because of this flex in this body. When this gave out, probably lifted and allowed a lot of dirt to come on this side. You can see all the grit that are on these posts right now. But if I sand this and make the hole bigger, what happens, let me see if I can get to this taper down here, is that this taper drops down farther to where this screw and this screw head are now hitting the chassis. On top of that, this side here will hit the chassis. I mean, that's very little that it needs to drop in. And if we're on the taper right here and we drill the hole just a little bit bigger, that's going to get past this. And then we're relying on these sides to hold the chassis in place from dropping too far down. Especially on a roof landing, you're going to be nailing this sidebar right here. That's what I see, and that's what I keep saying. But I don't know. This is a part of testing, and this is why we do it. This is why we make changes. I can tell you, like most, I believe wholeheartedly that the true fix is a chassis redesign and the post coming up from the chassis, and then this having a plate across it, like one of these plates going across from bar to bar, so the pins go up into the body rather than the pins going into the chassis. So really it would need the cage redesigned and pins sticking up, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But these pins sticking up, are they going to snap off on bad crashes and you got to buy a chassis because you broke a pin? You know, I can see why this design is cheaper if you break something, but I don't know. The comment section is where it's at. Oh, and we ripped the rubber out of this corner, this screw, so we're gonna have to loosen that screw, stuff this back up in there, just like the original 6S Mojave. Wow. I'm pretty sure the washer and the O-ring, the body's not going to stick on to where I can't get it off. But it is sticky. But there we go. You guys comment. Drill the chassis, don't drill the chassis. I don't know. Not 100% sure. Leave a comment, you decide. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.